So Dallas now. So Dallas, they went to 7 games against Clippers. There was no help for Kristaps, but hey, they did all right last year. They got 42 wins, and they were the 5th seed.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, dude. How is Kristaps? Is he going to be good next year? That's another question we got to know. Is he going to get better, or is he just going to be some 7'3" bloke that shoots threes? You know?
Yeah, so I've got to say it before I discuss Dallas further. I'm not a fan of Kristaps. I think he's a very lazy player. He's bit of a sook. Again, he came from New York, so there's a bit of a reason. But I also know a lot about Kristaps. Um, he, I think he is gonna be crap next year. I reckon he's gonna stink it up. It's just weird because when he played for New York, he was known as this really good defender. He would getting 3 blocks a game, and then
Rim
in that
protector, shot blocker.
yeah, and in that playoff series, defense was just not seen by Kristaps. He was
It
not a good
left the
defender.
chat.
Yeah, he was not a good defender at all.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Dude. I don't know, man. What makes Dallas such a good team, right? And you ask yourself that, and it's Luka, yeah,
It's a one-man team.
yeah. And then did they get him some more help in terms of some, a big time scorer? Not really, but they brought back Tim Hardaway, and they brought in some role players like Reggie Bullock, while also kind of maintaining players like Finney Smith, who they didn't trade away, who are also good 3-point shooters. So they've kind of got 3-point shooters and perimeter defenders on the team. But what the next step is clearly to bring in a star, and I think they've got to do that this free agency.
Well, yeah. Well, like you said, they did. They re-signed their players and they brought in a couple of good players. Reggie Bullock was actually a really good pickup.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're definitely missing that star player. They need a player to kind of just give Luka a bit of relief. Someone that can actually help Doncic, because Kristaps is not the second man for that team. He's a fiddle for Luka. He's nothing. Kristaps. He's not going to help Luka, and they need someone to help Luka. That's why they were going after Kyle Lowry. They were going after these star players.
I think they need a small forward because Luka's established himself to be a combo guard. He can play point guard, he can play shooting guard, he guards both of them. His defense can be a bit spotty here and there, and sometimes just doesn't try. But then when he tries, for the most part, he can be an alright defender. But he needs to. Also, another critique though with Luka is, do you remember at the end of the playoffs when there were videos actually shown of him having open 3-point shooters? And it was a couple of them were like Kristaps and that, and he didn't pass them the ball because he had lost all confidence in him.
I think there was in that Mavericks team. I think there was clearly some chemistry issues, especially regarding Luka and Porzingis. Like you said, there's that whole kind of playoffs against Clippers. You could kind of tell that Luka just wasn't getting along with Kristaps, and he didn't want to give Kristaps the ball in the paint. He didn't want to give Kristaps the ball when he was wide open in the corner. He honestly just wanted the ball to himself and to take over, which he was doing for the most part. But when it gets later in those 7-game series, you need to rely on your teammates, and Luka wasn't doing that.
He lost trust in his players, and he lost trust nearly in his coach, which is, I think, another reason Rick Carlisle kind of left, is because I reckon Rick Carlisle low-key sees that Dallas, is there an opening for them to be potentially bad here?
There is.
What happens? With Kristaps especially, dude, Kristaps made it very clear that he did not like the treatment from Dallas. And Luka made it pretty clear he was not happy with some of his teammates. And I think some of the guys they actually, I do like Reggie Bullock. That was a good addition. But my maturity levels Luka's maturity levels rather are questioned by me, because what happens if Bullock has a couple of crappy games? Does Luka just lose faith in him and not pass him the ball like he did with Kristaps, or what does he do? And how is Jason Kidd going to handle that?
Yeah, see, well, that's awesome thing to talk about, actually, that you brought that up. Jason Kidd, It's going to be very interesting to see how he coaches, Luca and the whole Dallas, because we all know. I'm assuming you saw the big story that came out about Jason Kidd, how the last team he coached, how like he was very strict. He made them train on Christmas Day.
Mm,
Like he's a very strict coach, and I don't know. I'll be curious to see how he coaches Chris Tapps, and all
yeah.
that stuff. Like, how's he going to go with it all?
I'd like to see if if he's going to be fully strict and like Luca, his maturity levels come into it and he be his little baby or something. I'd like to see him slap him in the face and go, Rick Carlisle handled your crap, and then he ended up leaving. I'm not going to handle it.
Yeah,
You're going to do what I say. Because, dude, Dallas fans, there's two Dallas fans in this world. There's the ones that love Lucas so much, and there's the other ones that know he's got some maturity issues.
yeah.
And they seem to be the mature Dallas fans. And they know, though, and I think they're looking for a big season out of Luka. I think Luka won't win the MVP until he sorts it out with his team and like Kristaps and stuff like that. Because he can't be having dead open players like Kristaps and not passing it to them.
Yeah, and that's why I reckon Jason Kidd, like, if Luca keeps this up, Kidd's gonna get mad real quick, and it's not gonna be good for Luca. He'll just take it out on Luca, and I think honestly, I know this is a bold kind of prediction. Jason Kidd could single-handedly ruin this whole team.
Mm.
I know that's a big thing to say for a coach, but it's just like it's a
Too
new
strict
coach.
on Luka, maybe, or
Yeah, like he's a very strict coach, and if things don't go his way, you'll know it.
yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't think this will be a season where Dallas are going to be. They're not going to be bad, but I don't think they're going to be great. I could still see them being like a fifth seed, but I think they'll kind of just like float around like they did last year, last year at the start of the year they struggled to be in the playoffs, and then towards the end of the year they kind of got that spot.
Yeah.
But Luka's going to be even better in the off season. But did you see him for FIBA when he played against Australia?
Yeah, he was
Oh man, did he
against
carry on?
against Australia. He wasn't that good at all, to be
Mm,
honest. And yeah, he carried on. He was a crybaby, just like Chris Tapps.
yeah. So you're telling me their two best players are crybabies?
Yeah, it's like just they got LeBron James and LeBron James Jr. over there. It's just it's just I don't know, man. It's like I know Chris Tapps. Like trust me, he's a sook.
Yeah.
He's got for the people that don't know, his actual agent is his brother. And if his brother doesn't get, things exactly how he wants them, there's issues. Like they had to like bribe him when he came to Dallas. When he came to Dallas, they pretty much just had to give the brother anything he wanted, so he would just shut up and say out of the media.
Yeah. It's gonna be man, it's gonna be interesting to see how Dallas go this year. What are your projections?
See, I've still got them doing like pretty good. And I think the main reason because of that is this. You gotta give Luka his respect. He's gonna be an MVP player soon. But again, I think this record could go really good or really bad. I don't have high expectations for Dallas, but I still can't see them not improving. Um, with the addition of 10 games.
Mm,
So yeah, currently I got him for 45 wins and 37 losses.
yeah. I think they'll probably float around there. I don't necessarily know if I have them as a specific seed yet. I mean, as a specific win-loss ratio rather. But I do
Yeah,
think their seed. I think they'll be a fifth seed again, and then I
yeah.
think it will be. I think it'll be 44 wins or so. They'll get this season 44, 45. I think because dude, Luka's too good to be on a bad team. I don't care if he's not passing to his team and whatnot. Their record's still going to be pretty good. But then when it comes to the playoffs, that record will mean nothing if Luka's not passing it to his teammates, you know?
Yeah. Oh well, Luca is a generational talent. Like this kid is seriously
Mm,
unreal. He's very far from his peak still, and again. I love to bring up age because age is always a big thing. He's only
yeah,
22 years old.
yeah, that's crazy.
He's going to be unreal, and he's already cemented himself as like one of the best players in the whole league. He could have an MVP season next year, and no one's going to be surprised. He's already had
Mm,
MVP seasons. He just
Yeah.
didn't win it, of course.
And for those listening at home, I'd just like to clarify, we're not saying that he's not a good passer. Like, this dude still averages like 10 assists. Please don't confuse that. We're saying that he is deliberately not passing it to certain players, which is you can't really argue with that because there are so many clips of, Kristaps, among others, being left open. But the thing is, when this dude does trust players, like, look at Finney Smith, man, Luka gets a couple of assists to players like Finney Smith alone every game. And with Reggie Bullock added to that, if he can, get some confidence in Reggie Bullock, then they're going to be great together. But if he's not, I don't want to have another, a repeat of what happened with Kristaps or something like that, where if he has a couple of bad games, Luka just doesn't pass to him. So yeah, we're not saying he's a bad passer. We're just saying that there are players which he just refuses to pass it to when they're not playing that great.
Yeah, exactly. We're not calling him a bad passer. Let's not forget this man was getting triple doubles like every so often in every game. So he's shown he's an awesome passer. It's just when you're singling out players like Kristaps and not purposely not passing the ball when he's wide open, there's issues there. There's chemistry issues.
You're exactly right. So it'll be interesting to see how Dallas go, but I think we can agree it'll probably be around like a 5th seed, right?
Yeah, I think that's realistic for Dallas.